Yeah, that's why I finna ask him. So, how do you manage wrestling, mortuary, filmmaking, all together, and then you don't burn out?
Well, so for me, I did at one point because I'm
Okay.
glad you brought that because back a couple of years ago, I actually developed a vocal disorder called spasmodic dysphonia. This when I was working at Leak.
Okay.
And so that kind of also led up to me leaving because I was like, when I got stressed, my voice would change. It was strained, and I didn't know what that was, but I went to the doctor. They was trying to get me to take like these Botox injections, but I'm like, no, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that. I ain't get no Botox in my throat. So the voice therapist like, you're a filmmaker and you're doing wrestling. Like, why not kind of step back and focus on that? And so when I end up leaving the funeral home full time, because I was waiting on my license to come, and in the process, when I left, my voice came back. And so then when I got my license, I just started my own mortuary transportation company. And it was a lot better because now I was doing what I went to school for. Instead of doing all the other stuff, I got a chance to actually get out in the field and help serve families and, pick up loved ones from, the place to take them into the care of the funeral home. Exactly. And so once I was finally got past that hurdle, it just took off from there.
Do you plan on having your own funeral home?
Man, after seeing what they go through, I don't know, man. I had to pray about that one because it's a great business, but when you own a funeral home, people don't want to talk to the workers. They want to talk to the owner. Exactly. So it's a big, like I said, I'll always make myself available to serve, but who knows, maybe.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. What's next for you in the next 12 months?
God willing to, get fully licensed in Illinois and California. Because I've been kind of back and forth kind of thing. But other than that, just taking every opportunity as long as it's good. Just taking every opportunity that I can, get.
What part of California are you licensed in?
Well, all of it is like it's one. So basically to be a mortician, every state is different. So once you go to school, you have to sit for what's the national board exam. So once you pass that, every state is different. So like here in Illinois, you have to hold a license to be a funeral director and an embalmer. Okay. So in California right now, I'm in the process of just getting a funeral director license. But when my full license clears here, then I'll just reciprocate the embalming license. Okay. So every state is kind of weird, but it's like, they don't make it so easy for you to move around.
Right. Okay. But what particular are you more in LA or
well, Anaheim, between Anaheim and Lawndale, California. Those are my favorite areas. So like
is that out there by Santa Rosa?
Well, Lawndale is like right by Long Beach.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Anaheim. Okay. That's right. That's where Disney World is at. Okay.
Yeah, Disneyland. Yeah, Anaheim. But yeah, I love I've been but because everybody was like, why you want to go to California? But it's not so much even about film for me. It's more about some other stuff I'm trying to do. Because like I said, I wanna be able to help my people here in Chicago as well. But sometimes, let's tell the truth. Sometimes in order to do some good things, you have to move around a little bit because, sometimes doing things back home is not always that easy. I've learned that people who don't know you sometimes will push you further than your own people sometimes, and it's not personal, but it's everything. Yeah, it just seems to be that way.
Yeah, it do.
You got to bounce around. You got to be diverse if you want to be successful.
Yeah.
What advice that you think you can give kids around the Chicagoland that feel a little boxed in because of their circumstances? What word of enlightenment that you think you can give them?
I would tell them like this, optimize every opportunity and don't let your surroundings, pull you down. Like take all your stuff as inspiration. And we living in the age now, especially for those who want to be filmmakers and stuff, you got cell phones. You got all kind of stuff that even when I was a kid, we didn't have all this stuff that they have now. So it's it's a lot of ways to kind of get away from your surroundings, exactly. But you just got to be careful though where you keep your mind at it. Don't spend too much, time focusing on what everybody else is doing. It's a time and place. Like for me, I have a time frame that I consume media and that I got to cut off, because when you're trying to get things done, you got to focus.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.